Hi, I'm Anton Fig. I was the drummer in the late night band, the world's most dangerous band, CBS Orchestra, from 1986 to 2015. Originally, Paul had the band with Steve Jordan and Hiram and Will. Fantastic band. When people took off time to do other projects, Paul would get drummers to replace Steve. I used to see Paul around and I would say to him, please give me a chance. And he said, you will one day, and the day eventually, after a long time, came.
Over on drums, a cat who has been with us all week and doing what I think has been a fabulous kind of knock-up job on the drums. How about it for Mr. Anton Fig?
Anton, nice to see you, man.
Sounds good.
And a couple of weeks later, Paul called me up and said, looks like Steve is leaving the show, and we like the way you've subbed, and you can have it if you want it. Absolute life changer.
For those days when you're just too tired to jump in the car, drive a half block to get yourself a Slurpee, they'll...
Oh.
Yeah! I like that. Excellent. Well done. What was this man's name? This is
Anton Fig.
Anton Zip, isn't it?
No.
Why do I keep calling him Zip?
I don't know. I think that was the monkey. That was the monkey.
This is Anton Fig.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Anton.
Officially joining the Late Night with David Letterman band that we affectionately refer to as the world's most dangerous band.
That's right, from parts unknown.
From parts unknown. Where does he come from?
From parts unknown.
Keeps wanting me to tell. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But please welcome him officially to the David Letterman Show band, Anton Fig.
Anton, nice to have you here,
Greatest
sir.
drummer in the world.
I get to the show, and Paul says, Dave wants you to do a 3-minute drum solo. Looking back on it, I think it was like a trial by fire initiation. And it was absolutely like terrifying. You know, once after that, I felt like I had the gig. I'd passed some sort of test, whether it was or wasn't, I don't know.
2 minutes. What do? We need to kill some time. 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes, Paul. How can we kill 2 minutes? Quick, 2 minutes.
What, drum solo?
All right.
You know, Caravan?
All right, a drum solo. Anton Zip, our drummer.
Fast forward, Dave decided to have a drum week. Sheila Rogers called me in and says, Dave wants you to play in the drum week, which I was very honored because he had fantastic other drummers playing. I said to Sheila, okay, I'll do it, but I just want to go first. I didn't really want to have to follow all those guys. So there was some kind of weird symmetry on either end of the show for me. I did a video, like a drum instructional video, and I asked Dave if he would play on it, and he sat down on the drums and did a 3-minute like impromptu comedy thing, which was fantastic. When they were editing the thing together, the editor went and chopped it all up, and I was furious. I said, no, he's got like his stream of consciousness, just put it all back. I made him put it all back to the way he did it.
A lot of cowbell work. That's pretty good. This is for military executions. Had a lot more of those in the 50s. My arms is getting kind of tarred.
They would get the band to do some crazy stuff. You know, the writers actually made us look like geniuses and really funny.
Sometimes it helps if I sing to them a little.
All right.
Oh, little butterfly, you fly so high as you go by.
Paul, collecting butterflies. Where do you take your butterflies? To the ballet? Why don't you show them the dance of the sugar plum fairy? Ha, 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 ha.
Go, my pretties.
Kill!
So there was a running gag. It was like, guess the expiration date of like dairy products, milk and whatever. And that was really fun to do. It was really great, but you know, they made me look like I was like really funny.
All right, Anton, I can tell you that tonight's perishable item is half and half. He will now taste it a bit and give us his guess for the actual expiration date. Half and half.
I'm going to guess September the 12th.
September 12th, just about a week from tonight, I believe. All right, that's the guess, September 12th. Perishable item lady, may we see the actual expiration date, please, on the half and half. And there we see it's, oh my God, right on the money! Yes! Really, very impressive. Hit it right on the nose.
And then another time, they had me bite the head off a bird.
Well, Karen, I'm sorry if I offend you by buttoning up my jacket, but, you know, frankly, I'm not so sure that cutting over to a picture of Anton is a great idea either. He actually has some very peculiar habits of his own, so I don't know that we'd really accomplish anything by... Now, Anton, oh, no, please don't do that tonight. No, are you... Oh, Anton! Oh, my God, you see? Oh! And he's enjoying it! You heathen!
Apparently, people got really upset about it, wrote in and said, I'll never watch your show again. So Dave had to have me come and sit on the panel with him and explain that the bird wasn't real.
I was just following through with their wishes.
You did a very convincing job.
Yeah, well, it's so convincing that I've become the most despised man in North America.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but we're going to now explain how we created this, what we thought was a fairly minor, mild special effect. Is one of these loaded up and ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right, so I just bite the head off and then... Is there any trick to this, Anton?
Just as
And just pull it off. Yep. Hey. Okay. You know, it tastes a little like chicken.
They had me come in and do a skit with Ringo. It was like coming in and I had to kind of act with Dave and with Ringo. And yeah, that's one of my favorite ones for sure.
Anton, haven't seen you since we were kids.
Yeah, great to see you. What have you been up to, Ringo?
Oh, not too much, in a few bands, you know. I was with the Beatles.
Yeah, they were pretty popular, right?
Yeah, they were. Married Barbara Bach.
Oh, that's great.
What have you been up to?
Well, I've been in prison.
Ah, well, I'll see you next time you're in. Give us a call.
All right, thanks.
Anton, why didn't you tell him you were the drummer on the show?
Oh, I was a bit ashamed. So I'll tell you one of my favorite moments, and this was not scripted at all. My son, he was little and he would come and sit backstage. He would sit on the riser when we rehearsed. Dave one day came through and picked him up and brought him out onto the drum riser with me. And so he sat there and did the whole show. That was a really fantastic moment that he just made happen.
Paul Schaefer, Buddy Rich Jr., Buddy Rich the third.
Junior on the drums.
Yeah.
We got them all.
Ba, 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 da, ba. That's good. And it looks like a scene from the movie Whiplash.
Ah, that's right. We're nothing if not contemporary.
Yeah.
I remember Martin Scorsese sitting at the drums, but I don't remember what the joke was. I would come home from the show and I wouldn't necessarily remember who was even on the show that day. You know, it was so much like so many shows all the time, and you really had to clear it all out because you had to make room for a new show. I don't think it's uncommon for the people that did the show not to recall a whole bunch of stuff.
It says the letter looks a lot like Steven Spielberg, Marcel Claxton, Roermond, the Netherlands. You know, I haven't noticed that similarity, Marcel. I have noticed, however, that our drummer, Anton Fig, looks a lot like Martin Scorsese. Does anybody ever tell you that, Anton, that you look like Martin Scorsese?
No, Dave. No.
You look a little like
Martin Scorsese, Anton.
No, Dave, but I did rent Goodfellas once.
Oh, you did? You rented it?
Yeah.
And did you like it?
Well, that was okay.
All right. Anton Fig, ladies and gentlemen, our drummer. Anton Fig.
I got to play with a lot of my musical idols and some incredible musicians. The foremost was I got to play with Miles Davis, which meant so much to me. And I spoke to him after I played with him, and he was very complimentary and made my whole life, made my career, as far as I was concerned, because it was just like, well, if I get the thumbs up from Miles, that's fine. I'm done. But then I also got to play with James Brown.
Gotta go back! Gotta go back!
I got to play with Pete Townsend. And I remember Pete Townsend, I think we were playing a little bit of Pinball Wizard, and then he said, this guitar's worth more broken than it is intact, and he went and just smashed the whole thing up.
Let's do something for the world! Let's do something good for those kids, for charity, for everything! Let's do something really fun!
And, you know, I got to hear a lot of bands close up that I probably, wouldn't have been that close, like the Foo Fighters. They were just fantastic and just so strong. Talked to Taylor quite a bit. They played the last show, and we were hanging out at the party afterwards. I got to talk to him for a long time. In fact, we were discussing the Future Islands video, which I didn't, was just another thing. And he goes, what do you mean you haven't seen it? It's fantastic. I went, I don't even barely remember it. Anyway, I went back, and then I saw what he was talking about.
I've been hanging on. Ooh, I've been waiting.
When you play with the really great guys, and they've got it, 100%. Springsteen, puts out 100%. And, this was the last show. It was very charged. You can see by the tape how, it was very exciting. My dad came to late night. He might have been dozing off during part of the show. And Letterman saw him and started to talk to him.
And Bush stunned reporters when he replied, hey, use it or lose it. Thank you very much. Oh, why? A disgruntled audience member, ladies and gentlemen.
The disgruntled gentleman that we saw during your monologue, Anton's dad.
Is that your father, Anton? Hey, it's Anton's father. Where is he? There he is.
It was a skit, and they had an edible plunger. And so he brought it out to my dad. Now, I don't know what happened to that plunger, but I will tell you that I have the box. The edible plunger still lives.
Look at that.
No.
It's a...
No.
Thank you very much. The edible plunger. Who knew?
Getting to play with Darlene Love was so amazing. It was always exciting to do. It was a tradition. It was a big band. Paul would rehearse a big band. Paul was always great at rehearsing a lot of people. He would always get round to everybody and make sure everybody was right. It was fabulous.
I remember when you were here and all the fun we had last year. Pretty lights on the trees. I'm watching
Sometimes when Paul couldn't do the show, they would get, Warren Zevon would come in and he would be out front playing the organ in Paul's place, and I would become the band leader. And so I got to not only learn all his songs, but also become friends with him. And I know that Dave really loved him. He was a really special musician and a great person, super smart, and he wrote absolutely beautiful songs. So I'm so happy that I got to play with him quite a bit.
In Ireland, in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Berkeley, Matty Hearst heard the burst of a Rowan's Thompson gun and bought it.
How would you rate Dave as a drummer?
Next question.